We expected a start today, CSGO deciding to crash at the start of the knife round, but here we are nonetheless, without any ads or no other shenanigans. We're just a little bit into the pistol, the bomb is down on the B site, and it looks like Nemiga are actually in a pretty good position. A bit of damage being done to Hunden, but nothing too crazy. Looks like Keto is going to find Robo as the push does come in. Hunden collapsing on Hitmouse. Well, Keto finishes off Redban as well, allowing to get quickly on the defuse, and a successful retake from the Germans. But yeah, that has definitely thrown me off, and CSGO is in a bit of a state right now, so we just had to kind of panic restart it. Thanks, Valve. Great game. Definitely functions as planned. Oh, the worst part is we've now got the little text on the bottom as well, which is just not what you want. Alright, let's see if we can, like... Alright, the console just looks it's not good, right? But if we just do this... Are we good? Oh, we're groovy. There we go. I think it's that should do most of the things we need. I don't know how this will look, for sure. It's, game capture decided just to refuse to work. So I think we're using window capture for this. I hope it works. I don't know, you guys will have to let me know if it looks horrendous or something. Either way, I'm gonna try and get themselves out on towards A with the pistols, and it is just a dream too far. Not gonna happen. If they are gonna be dropped on dead, simple as that. aTTaX go 2-0 up in this game. Pretty good start so far. Gonna be interesting though here, of course, watching this T side as they've got themselves 5 AKs in play. Limited utility, but enough to go for something relatively early on into the round. Of course, looks like the mid play is going to be the choice, and well, it's an early battle, but it's working out relatively well. See Hitmouse find himself too. Citizen is going to be there to trade it right back though, meaning it will be Nemiga in a 4 versus 3. Now the early smokes thrown by aTTaX do mean that they kind of have to adjust their pacing just a little, and I think that also works in their favour anyway, considering they've got themselves a man advantage, so no real need for them to rush just yet. Of course, going to regather their forces over on towards this A site. The only real contention coming in from that aggressive UMP towards ramp. Even then, not expecting anything too crazy to come out. I mean, it was a nice little push, but he didn't spot that much. Starting to see the rotates come in, though, so I think that may have just given him a bit of an idea, just taking the gamble. Okay, I've seen 1 or 2 players, so I'm pretty confident it's going to be the A play. Problem is, these rifles are so damn powerful. Walking out into one, it's going to be Hunden that has to step up now into the fray and make it work. Spotting them as they come out through ramp, but only picking away one. 35 seconds, all that remains. Looking to see if they can squeeze in with a plant. Hunden going to get aggressive, at which point he'll pay a costly price. Loses his head for it. And Redman can then rip through the boxes in CT. And that'll be enough to finish this one off. 2-1. The Nemiga find themselves into this game. aTTaX, of course, able to invest back in. They've still got enough to buy an AWP as well, which is by far the biggest aspect of this round. We'll have to see what exactly they can do with it. I mean, that AWP is literally just that, just a weapon with a flash behind it, but really nothing more. No Kevlar, which is the biggest point for sure. Much more careful CT side now. No more rapid pushes up through mid or anything like that. It is just them sitting relatively far back on these sites. Just going to be waiting for Nemiga to show some sort of idea what they're going to be doing. There will be just a few pushes here and there. You see them kind of formulate in towards mid for a little bit of, you know, a calculated peak, but nothing really comes of it. They're not really going to be committing to it. They do just send 2 players back towards the top of connector, because the Hunden fall back towards B as well, which does work out if we do see this duel come in from Robo, but something tells me he's just going to go underpass and start to regroup in mid, as we could well see a split towards A. Few flashes coming in. aTTaX actually taking mid here. They seem so undecided on if they actually want to commit to that mid take. They've done it twice now, the exact same thing. Show face in towards mid, take the fight, and then instantly fall back to the site. With 3 players on A, sure, You got a relatively good chance to hold this, but it's still going to be tough. The molly does come in, playing the off angle, holding for the push here, and does secure one. The flash coming down, not going to blind him at all. They just walk into his crosshair. He's good for not only one, but a chance at a second. Keto going to go flying on through, secures himself a kill. But Redman left completely untouched. Can find the quick trade. From there, Citizen just plays from CT. He's just going to be holding for that plant. Robo swinging in from Connector. Is definitely able to support him with getting that plant down. Of course, it's a good flash that comes in, but if anything, it's just time being bought. Which is exactly what Redman needed. The bomb is planted. Now they're taking the jewel on the back of the site. Okay, then that is... Even Auto Director wanted to just kind of throw a bit of an insult in there. Not really sure how that happened. Looks like a molly just spread it a little bit unexpectedly. Okay, now it does just leave Searson. Trying to see if he can find anything at all, but I think he's realised he's kind of locked out to this round now, just refusing to dig him his own grave. He's just going to back off and try and save that all, but I think that's definitely going to be the smart play here. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I think it's Tijno. But yeah, he's correct. Nemiga is actually a Belarusian team. And I believe every player is from Belarus, actually. Downside here for aTTaX, of course, is that it may well be 2-2, but you've got an AWP and that is it. You've got pistols on every other player. Not really sure he'll plan on supporting that. Looks like we're seeing just a bit of a set piece towards this B site anyway. The plan just to walk out onto the site. It went relatively well. I mean, Nemiga's putting a bullet in the back of his teammate isn't exactly ideal, but it's nothing for us to really be screaming about either. It looks like they're keeping it relatively clean. Site has been taken, the bomb has been thrown down. The play really is in the hands of aTTaX. How much damage can you do? The answer is a fair chunk. That's another kill being claimed. Hunden hitting the headshot on MDS. Now the P250 going to do a little bit more damage as Redman is going to lose his life. Robo at least sealing the deal with the double, but this is a risky situation for him. If he gets overwhelmed, I mean, one pistol, it's enough to put him in the grave, let alone anything else. I mean, Citizen with no kit is wrote off of the round, but the fact this is a 1v1 is honestly mad. They will not get away with anything. That's shaky from Nemiga more than anything else. I mean, we already saw that first pick come through when they actually got themselves out of B apps, but it kind of went downhill from there by just how much those pistols were able to do. The fact that Hunden was able to get so much done close range with that USB. And of course the drive-by P250 shot from short. Just all tallies up as a bit of a disaster on Nemiga. Thankfully they can afford to still buy up into this one, obviously, just waiting things out. 5 AKs in play, full utility as well, so by no means a real issue. We're seeing a lot of utility coming in towards mid, but most importantly the two smokes window and top of connector, they're the important ones that will allow him to go for this B split using the molly. Robo will towards the back of B plat. Just denying that sort of early peak from Citizen, forcing him to actually double down on his position, getting aggressive, continues to walk on up. Wonder if we had to catch anyone by surprise. He's cleared out that kitchen area. Oh my god, there are two players just wandering around this corner. They have no idea, but he misses the shot, Citizen. No, not like this. The shot is missed, and that will prompt them just to rush down into that B site. The rotations have come through. Hunden on 8 HP, trying to hold the fortress, but it is not going to be enough as his teammate will fall, leaving just him in towards market. And it is set ablaze. Fast, taken down one by one. MDS finding himself the kill on Hunden as well, leaving just Keto. That is a certain save. Just taking that rifle through into that 7th round, if he can. Nemiga just blitzed their way on towards B. Just a missed shot from Citizen really set off that round that could have been completely different, but it is what it is. Just didn't quite go his way. Just a slow round from Nemiga. Hopefully they don't mess it up like they did in the past. I'm hesitant to start believing just yet. I want to wait and see. I mean, this is looking like it's going to work out for them no matter how hard they try to mess it up, just on the fact that all the attacks are going to be going towards mid anyway. Seems to be a very common play for them, actually, just to try and kind of take those duels towards top mid. Either way, a few duels do come through. It is going to be Hunter and Keto to actually secure themselves a frag apiece, but they're starting to fall away anyway as Nemiga become this rolling tide up on towards A, secure themselves a plant and setting a blaze to connector and jungle. So taking a lot of control with that as well, just pushing up in towards close palace. You've also got, well, Sisson actually is not one just to skip over. Gets a fair bit done before losing his life. Line him up, knock him down. That's a deagle shot you don't expect. Honestly, I'm not sure if Redmond can do this. It's a long defuse, don't get me wrong. But is he going to peek? I don't know if Keto's distracting him well enough here. That's the question. Looks like he can swing just enough. A second to spare. And that is exactly why you don't become a believer of Nemiga. 2 rounds back to back. They've been on this full buy versus pistols. And both times ultimate attacks have made it difficult for them. Created these 1 versus 1s in those last bitter seconds. Not only do you hate to see it, but we shouldn't be seeing it in the first place anyway. It shouldn't be a thing. You just got to keep those clean. Of course, this time around we're seeing a double up setup, but instantly ploughed down. Will be certain, just unable to even get a shot off before being annihilated by the AK of Fast, who, well, I guess you could say is living up to his name. Very early kill. Second frag comes in as well as Redmond just takes the duel early in towards B-Apps. Keto is going to find the trade though as he plays back towards CT. Upside for Nemiga is they have full mid control and they can really use that to go anywhere in this game really. The only downside of course is if to relinquish anything they gain towards the B site as Redmond does have to come back and grab this bomb. Nice to see him supported by Hitmouse though, just in case there was any of this aggression. We're starting to see it now from Keto, but it's a little too late. Does work out for him though, Hitmouse staring at the stars apparently, giving up that first kill, which is a bit of a disaster because now Hitmouse can get away. That's interesting. Okay. Keto just holding the offhand. I mean, gets double peaks. Okay, gonna be dealt with. At least there's that. Because at this point, it should be the A site completely overwhelmed. The nice fact is you've got Robo and Connector, which I don't want to jinx myself. I've done this one too many times already this round, but yeah, it should have been a guarantee kill for Robo, and that is going to come through. Just blasting the head of Hunden as he does peek out. From there, this is so much information, right? You can check underpass all these different things, and it means that he's not really playing with his teammates, but he does know there's nothing coming from mid. Molly coming towards ramp, a little too deep. Means Fast is just going to push on through and find their tap. The defuse is baited. You guys in your discussions in chat, man, like, tier 10 team, that's a little harsh. I don't think it's unfair to say that aTTaX would, on paper, be the stronger team. Well, unfair to say, sorry, I think that's definitely the case. But Nemiga have been surprising recently. They beat the other Belarusian team, good job, right? In OT. Nonetheless, round number 9, 6-2, the current scoreline. And a best of 1. Things start to get a little bit hairy here for alternate attacks. Already losing 1. The push towards A, starting to really bear some dividends. Citizen is going to claim back on that though, making it a 4 for 4. A few more nades and flashes will come on out. Robo almost getting lucky with the peak, but Hunden not quite escaping unscathed, but 46 HP means he is still standing, which is by far the most important thing. Robo going to leave himself blind in connector. Like to add insult to injury as he makes this rampant push. London going to get caught. There's your answer. Another kill coming in. That's perfectly done by Robo. And if he doesn't re-peek it now, which I think he's going to be smart in realizing that re-peeking is just a recipe for disaster, then there's no way for aTTaX to secure a trade. You've got one player on B to deal with this oncoming push. Spotting at least one. Mac10 not quite going to chew him up just yet. He's actually getting two. This is madness. Finally shut down, but getting 2 kills means there's a welcome chance. Searson has them split off as well. Means that he can make it a 1v1 quick as anything. A lot of noise being made. Hitmouse knows exactly where he's coming from, but Searson should be checking close right almost certainly when he comes out. Oh, a few missed shots as well. Less than ideal. It comes down to 12 HP. But 12 HP is enough. Nemiga 7-2. aTTaX left with a whittled economy. Meaning it likely will be 8-2 as well, as I'm expecting nothing more than a half by here from aTTaX, which is, yeah, not pretty at all. Overall, very little investment into the round, just going to see the scout, but outside of that, for the most part, is just dry pistols, a few upgrades here and there, but still nothing really to be fanatical about. They're not really getting that much done either. They got a little bit of damage. They did get a kill on fast, but it is just going to be a down and dirty job in mid that pushes it over the line. For aTTaX, it's kind of at that point now where they really have to start showing something. In these rounds where they're spending, you know, $5,000 to $6,000 a player, really getting that full buyout, they can't just be giving up free picks on A or losing just a 1v1 on duel B that starts to really decide the round. There needs to be a little bit more substance to their CT side. A good chance for them to use attack balls at least, though. I think at this sort of point in the game, this is really what attack balls are built for. You kind of get down and you're out, but you call a pause, you start to see what you can do, hopefully rejuvenate yourselves a little bit, get back into it, find your groove. No matter how you want to put it, the end result should hopefully always be the same. You start coming back, you start bringing it back round by round, and from there you can repair the first half, try and go for an 8-7 or a 9-6 or something. Make things just a little bit more competitive going forward into that 16th round, that second half. Building up towards this kind of aggression in ramp. Feet to be spotted. Hitmouse just beginning to chew them up. Will secure one, but it will be a swift trade from the CT side. Biggest value gained is the fact they know the bomb is there. MDS just going to be creeping up to see if he can bring it back. Peeks out and actually gets himself a headshot for his troubles. That is a disaster. Meanwhile, attention being created towards B. Molly's being thrown. 2 players taking the duel, but only one rule remain. Another flash out means that he can start to do the dance. This could work out so well for the CT side. Hunden getting aggressive towards the top of mid. Should be able to catch the bomb on that rotate. Meaning disaster has certainly struck for Nemiga. What does Robo do? Does he keep the B site? Does he relinquish it? Go back to help his teammate? So many questions and so little time. But then to really think this one through fast is going to be there. 40 seconds left. Has to decide if he wants to peek through the doorway or not. I mean, they have no flash to get out, so it will be just a exercise in brute force. They're going to throw the smoke, double back. They've got the bomb. aTTaX. How on earth do you let that happen? With a smoke going down like that, you just got to spray. You've got a rifle, Hunden. Searson, I can understand that. You've got an orb. Sure, go for a pot shot, but that should be really all it comes down to. Now trying to deny them on the cross, but Fast is just taking shot after shot. Gets to cross to the site and go with the plant, but he's baiting Hunden. He's taking the jewel. Hunden, oh my goodness, he has to win that fight. And so he does. The molly, thankfully cementing it. But that is way too close. Down to the wire as aTTaX do secure their third. But they had so much banking on that and such a ridiculous way for it to end. It should not be a 1v1 like that at all. They shouldn't have been able to get to the bomb, but it is what it is. Thankfully, they do pull through. It will be their third. And now they've got to make something of their fourth. Well, at least try and get it. I mean, so far, not so good. Already taking a significant loss right at the start of the round. Mid is basically being completely overwhelmed. He got fast, annihilating anything that remains on that A site. Trying to come in for that cutback connector rotate, but his position already known. You got fast, embedded in towards mid, meaning he's going to secure a quick and easy kill. Searson there to trade, but is it too little too late? At least he turns for the flash. There's certainly something to be found in that. Plant yet to come through, so a little bit of extra time for aTTaX to play with. See if someone like Hitmouse is going to give up the peak. Of course, MDS hearing so much. Not only that, but doing so much. What a way to have your economy just annihilated. You win one round, instantly reset. For Nemiga, they couldn't ask for anything better. The 12-3 right now is just looking not only so delicious, but so achievable too. Already seeing a few pot shots come out, but really not expecting too much here. Obviously, always saying that, but with Nemiga, you always get something special when they're up against pistols. They have struggled in this game, and it's weird that some of the most competitive rounds have been either pistol rounds, kind of, you know, Nemiga dealing with the anti-ecos, or have been like kind of the one or two full buys that aTTaX have been able to make work. You look at that 1v1 with Hunden, for example, I guess, but majority of the time, aTTaX have had their best success. Like USPs and P250s. Let's see it again here. Searson winning just that duel against MDS. Hunden may well have a welcome chance at ramp as well, now that he's got himself an AK to toy with. Molly is going to go nice and deep. That should just stop fast. Actually burns him away. He sticks it way too long. Bones left charred. It will prompt the push though. Hunden nearly getting caught. Searson having to get aggressive and ramp off the back of that. Means that they will give themselves up. But again, that's 2 kills from aTTaX in a very welcome way for them to compete in the round, which is more than what you can say for some of these buy rounds. And I guess we'll see that here as well, as the 14th is going to be one that they have to invest into. Of course, a little shaky, but a Famous is nothing to be complaining about. Looks like Hunden. I'm guessing he's got a rifle on the floor. Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, not expecting him to be AWPing, so I imagine it's just a dropped rifle. Didn't think they could afford that anyway, and that is the case. Nothing too crazy coming through. It is just going to be a potential duel towards the tipper connector. Be so careful right now if you're Searson. Flash does come through. It's the coordinated mid-take. It's failed completely. Line them up. You knock them down. Hitmouse running out of ammo, but it'll be the P250 to push it over the line. The double kill comes in. MDS finding the head of Keto. Means that it is just 1 player remaining for aTTaX up against 4. So Nemiga was so much stacked towards mid. Not only that, but they also just turned for those flashes. Those flashes did absolutely nothing in blinding anyone. Which literally meant there was, you know, never a true way to describe it than literally just line them up, knock them down, because aTTaX stood there nice and proud, and those 3 players quickly turned into 1. It was a little bit of a dodgy way for them to close it out, don't get me wrong, because they ran out of ammo, but eventually the point was still the same. They just got completely wrecked. And from there, 11-3, they're now playing with scraps to try and push this one over into at least an 11-4, a little bit more workable, but I don't know, it feels like dire straits no matter what. They've definitely made a mess of this first half. Fast already just walking out on towards the A site. Finds himself one. Calling that rotating from Searson almost instantly. And the aggression towards B is exactly what Hitmouse wants. Plays it predictably so. Gets a reward as well. Nemiga just pulling at the strings of the CT side bit by a bit. Just catching them off guard with all of this sporadic play. MDS with that beautiful double kills. He just waltzes out on towards A. Leaving Hunden with almost nothing to play for. I mean, 50 seconds, you've got a CZ, a molly, a flash, and body armor. What the hell do you do in a 1v5, honestly? The answer is pretty much just take it. Push it up through short. Robo is going to take him down, and a 12-3 half presents itself. Nemiga walking away laughing, I think, after that half. That is just... You do expect a lot better from aTTaX, but I don't know where to really kind of pinpoint their play. You know, the downside is 2 of their rounds stems from the first they took, the pistol. Outside of that, they only had 1 successful round. You remove the pistol from the equation, you're effectively, what, saying, yeah, 14-1? That's rough. Of course, the issue now is that the Nemiga make their CT pistol work. You could be looking at 14-3. That's a bit of an all-in from aTTaX at that point. But so far, so good. At least able to find one. Should be able to be finding the second in mid as well. Looks like Fast is going to be chased on down as Hunden gets ever so aggressive. Hitmouse desperate for a headshot or two, but finding absolutely nothing. Just only a tag here and there. Looks like they will be chasing CT though, which gives Fast a welcome chance, but same story for him. It's just with Central. Hunden just doing so much to carry them through this round. A double kill for him. Then we'll just push in towards CT. Take the triple or quad peak, however you want to put it. And that does mean aTTaX will get something on their T side. We go right. The first round once again. A repeat of the first half. A very patient play coming in from the Nemiga now. Just not really initiating any sort of duel, just waiting for those peaks to come in. Hunden beginning to work his way up through short. His advances leading to pretty rewarding play, actually. Redman just going to try and fall back, but unable to stand for too long. I mean, it will come down to just this trusty scout to try and claim this one back, and in the 1v4, hope certainly runs pretty damn thin. I love the fact that he's almost going for a bit of a 360 there, just kind of spins around. Bit of comedic effect, but most importantly for aTTaX, it is going to be the clean second round follow-up. Now should be able to take their third as well. From there, they're making a good start of bringing it back, but they've got a long way to go. Should be 6 rounds for them, so effectively halfway there. Another 6 to go before we can really start to get excited for them. Of course, at that point, it'll be 12-12, and so I think get a little dicey for Nemiga. By the way, smoke does come towards the top of connector. Keto peeking out one too many times. I mean, Redmond finding that is... The delay of me even getting into that just comes down to sheer confusion more than anything else. Thankfully, we do see a trade, and the B site is completely empty, so nothing really that Nemiga can do at this point, and they lose another player in mid. Hunden needs to be so careful about how he peeks this as well, bear in mind, is there's going to be a weapon there for them to play with. Yeah, thankfully he falls back, which is kind of what we wanted to see. Oh, Serson, don't walk into Robo. Buddy, it's not worth it. Much better just to hold the angles, see what you can do. There's a good flash, though. Hack10 making some money. The Robo still gets to save an AK here, and there's no ifs or buts about that. It's just he's going to get away with it. He's actually got Molly on his back as well, so definitely happy. Actually gets some full utility outside of the second flash. Quite literally laughing his way from that round, isn't he? Lovely stuff. Either way, let's focus ourselves now on round 19. Obviously, this is one that really gives us an idea of just how competitive alternate attacks are going to be. Looks like they have a set piece towards this B site they're looking to use. An early nade actually going to do a lot of damage on towards. Stefan, just 53 HP is all he's got left, but they have got themselves onto the site. It is going to be a little bit tough though. Redmond finding himself 2 kills apiece while Searson is able to respond. Fast already on short though, that smoke making life difficult for him. Bomb has been picked up. Looks like they're going to boost over bricks. MDS just waiting for his teammate potentially to make noise in market. At that point he'll peek. Looks like that may well be the play. Fortunately his teammate is going to fall almost straight away. Searson just putting in the work right now with the AWP. That's 3 kills that he secures in the round. 3 rounds that he hasn't died. And ultimately 3 rounds that he's been the MVP in. Watching very carefully. Searson just waiting to see what he can do. Hunden has himself a little opportunity. Finds himself Redmond, of course, some more money to be found. Just going to be hunting a little bit more as well, but unfortunately little does he know he's running away from them instead of to them. A kill is certainly a kill. Fast actually able to sneak that back, so may actually make a mad dash down mid for a rifle, who knows. I've got to say, at the end of the day, I mean, if it's a rifle killing them or an SMG, arguably it's always better for the SMG to be able to do it, but points always still the same at the end of the day. It's just a difference in income, but for attacks, they're not in a terrible spot money-wise. They've got, you know, around 8,000 to 9,000 a player. It's really not too rough for them. The important thing is just the consistency in them taking the rounds that they need at this point. I mean, 8 to 12, they're doing a pretty hearty job of bringing it back. Now 4 rounds being the difference. They've got to keep it consistent. The minute they start making mistakes is the minute the Nemiga are straight back into this game. Now, of course, looks like it is going to be just another aggressive mid-take. Searson piercing his way through the tip of connector as he finds it off that early frag on Hitmouse. Nothing that Nemiga can do to respond either, as they're completely smoked off fast. Looks like he's actually got himself a bit of an issue with just staring idly for a second. Down in towards jungle, just waiting for the smoke, I believe. Understanding that this is a less than pretty situation for them to be in at this point. You're setting up for that A split. You've got your bomb, your second player, and underpass. Support from Hunden towards the tips of mid, and then you've got your two players coming out through a ramp. Ramp has the only issue of MDS. Now he is watching Hawkeye with the AWP, so he'll have to be a little careful. But if we do see one good flash come from Connector, he'll be left blind, and that makes him almost redundant. So you can already start to look towards that. I don't really think the high flash from Ramp is going to do too much to him here with the sort of angle he's holding, but I guess we'll wait and see. They do walk on out into his crosshair, so we will find one, but then instantly expect someone from Palace, and that's going to be his downfall, because now he is completely blind. He's being hunted down by this aggressive play. It means it all falls to Robo. The alternate attacks, they're low. No 27 seconds. They gotta be careful. Plotting out in the open is so incredibly ballsy. 20 seconds now on the clock. Stefanen getting wild. He sprays down two players. Redman coming from short, but it's too little too late. aTTaX, they will secure the round. 12-9 will be the scoreline as aTTaX continue to develop their way back into the second half. At this point, AA doing a very good job of making these rounds happen. And these pistols just hunting out towards A, but not really being given any chance right now to claim a life. Hunden may well change that though as he gets himself very close towards Connector. Just trying to see if they will push him. Unfortunately, tempting fate a little there, which is less than ideal, but they take the bait. They run for the AK, at which point life gets a little difficult. They are going to be forced to make a reprieve of mid, as Hitmouse is going to be tapping away with his USP, which again makes things a little scary. Excellent. Bopping up through mid is a ballsy play when you're walking into a rifle holding short. At the end of the day, B site is yours. Your only kind of complication will be if you can actually get the bomb to B, which is, you know, I guess Hitmouse is what we're talking about here. How does he win that duel? Madness. Honestly, madness. That's smart. I like that. Jiggling around the weapons, but making sure that he's no AWP behind. Doesn't matter too much, of course, as Nemiga do still have two AKs in play. What's the B site? Was going to be a choice originally, but now it is going to be him heading back towards A. He needs to be checking for mid, but he doesn't. Robo, that's a great position. Just, you know, in fairness, I don't think Searson is going to be thinking about mid like that when he comes out. He's obviously going to be thinking connector first, maybe window, especially with like 20 seconds. So I do kind of like that. It's, I guess you consider it a bit of an off angle, just sitting and waiting. MDS just going to be bearing down from ticket into connector. Bit of a misplay for him as he should have been looking at ramp. That opens things up easily for aTTaX to take complete control of the A site. And they're putting Nemiga in a bit of a dastardly retake. We're already at a 2-man disadvantage, of course. I think they might choose to just save this one. Problem is they're still losing weapon after weapon as Hunden forces the duel on short. You know, it's just two players that remain for Nemiga. An economy that continues to wither away. Fast, thankfully. Able to take down Keita, and Redman might be able to find himself the head of Hunden. How much more are they willing to do? I mean, for aTTaX, they can almost certainly afford to lose these rounds. Nemiga, not so much. Oh, rifles even. Not quite rounds. That'll be a bit of a different tale, I'm sure. There you go. Fast is going to lose it. And that's kind of my point now. Talk on the rifles, lesser rounds. You take a look at Nemiga's economy in comparison to aTTaX. They can fill in any of the gaps. They got players on 6,000, 7,600 on Searson, for example. For Nemiga, those save rifles would have changed everything in this round for them. If they were able to save 2 or 3, we could have seen the drops come through from MDS and Fast, and we would have seen a buy. But because they haven't saved much, they've only saved 1 rifle, in fact, this is no buy. This is definitely, I think, an eco from them. You just have such a misbalanced economy. You've got 2 players who are able to make something work. And then everyone else would, what, be on Pistol Kevlar? Better utility, maybe? At 13-10, I think if you're Nemiga, you just accept that this is going to get a little bit closer, and you just sit back, relax, see what Redburn can do in this one. Just use the dry pistols. You know, it's not an impossible round for them to win. We've seen them actually do it already this half. That's how they got to 13, actually, in the first place. Not really going too well. Redburn, he's going to find one around the edge of the smoke, but instantly caught back by Searson. Meaning it's just these pistols that remain now. aTTaX likely just going to be grouping up. Head back towards the A site, maybe. I do actually like the fact they're leaving 1 towards the top of mid, just to keep on spotting towards windows short, just making sure that if any push does come through, that he can be there to spot for them. But the biggest thing is still going to be this cool kind of cluster walking up towards this A site. Nothing really too fancy being done, no flashes, no smokes. Just walking it effectively dry, but it's working out well for them. MDS does get tagged up by the AWP. We do see a peek coming from Hitmouse, but isn't really able to do too much. I mean, he would be dead if it wasn't for the molly being thrown, so he's at least keeping himself alive. Mid player wreaking havoc on these rotates just like he wanted to. 2 kills locked in. So it's just Robo and MDS that remain. One will come in from Palace, which is nice. He gets himself the jump, in fact, on Ekfun, but I don't imagine him being able to do too much more. Looks like Searson is just in fact going to hold for the peak with Yorp. I mean, it's a interesting angle that kind of makes it work. MDS gifted an AK. But that really should be an exit plan for him. Shouldn't really be even considering peeking Searson Akito, actually. Would be a little bit mad.
Terrorists win.
11-13. Another pause comes out for Nemiga. Tack after tack after tack. Definitely starting to feel the pain. Just 2 rounds now, all that remain between these 2 teams. Nemiga, likely one of their big final buys in this game, really, to be honest. Oh, looks like a tech issue. What's happened there? Instant keyboard problem. It works nicely though. Ebot doing its thing with a good exclamation mark stop. That was nice timing, because I'm kind of at that point where it's like, you know when you're going to sneeze, but you're not sure if you're going to sneeze. We're definitely kind of oversharing with you right now, Twitch, but that was that was good timing. Looks like we're not ready to get back into this one now either, as Nemiga have taken a quick toilet break. Taking advantage of this tech pause to... I don't know where I was going with that. I think what we'll do is are we good? Hand done? Say the word, buddy, and we're good. I think we need someone to write exclamation mark continue. There we go. Does anyone actually know the score to the Charlotte's game? There's a question for you, Twitch chat. Help me out here. Right, looks like we're actually good to go now after a few little issues here and there, some toilet breaks, some keyboards being broken. But either way, we are back with some Counter-Strike. 13-11, 2 rounds the difference. The pressure is on. Molly comes down early towards ramp. Hitman's going to use that just to then hold it. Give a little bit of freedom around the A site with his AWP. Pushing up through mid though, this could get a little bit spicy. Hunden spotting him with a jump. That is such a well-timed jump, and it may well save his life. Unfortunately not the case, but close enough at least. As then they try and trade him. The S goes flying on through fast, able to take down another before he falls. Robo then getting aggressive. Disaster strikes, alternate attacks, now left with 2 players and a bomb that needs to take control of. They're on the A site, that's for sure, but how do they even get through into connector? Keto has to be so careful, but that's a headshot you just love to see. And there, Robo is going to be able to find himself the return kill. Searson, though, making a 1v1. As the AWP does wonders for him against Hitmouse. That smoke making things a little problematic for him. Of course, AWP's not exactly the greatest weapon for pushing through smokes, let alone pushing smokes in general. A lot of noise being made. Molly to be thrown makes it easy for Robo then to decide to peek on out. He's actually going to pick up the AWP as well after killing him. But most importantly, it's 14-11 now. Just 2 rounds away from Nemiga finally closing this one out after such a strong first half. It'd be such a shame to see them not be able to get the win. They need just 2 rounds to make that happen. Two quick kills coming backwards and forwards. You just... These AWPs, spicy. Fast. At least able to bring it right back. The bomb just going to be ticking on away, but Searson, hip fire away is the answer. Hunden with 2 as well. These alternate attacks, they keep it competitive. Nemiga back onto these pistols. Just flashes in play. Now they can try and basically blind off their opposition, push them, and then see what they can do, but I don't know. I'm hesitant to say the least. Sears and Hunden both going to put 2 in the grave. Looking for a third as well, as it will be found. Searson still picking them apart, just playing this turret from the tip of mid. Basically being hotboxed right now, isn't he? Marley's landing at his feet, but gonna be excellent to push on through and finally chase this one over the line. 13-14. aTTaX should be able to tie this one up relatively simply, with just USPs in their way. I don't know what to say when it comes to Nemiga, right? Like, these pistol rounds are always ones that, you know, traditionally when you're casting a pistol round, it's like, oh yeah, you know, they're for the most part, they're probably going to be, you know, just picked apart. It should be relatively simple. But every single time they push and they get an EK, and they get given a chance, they always get given some form of, like, a point of attack into a round. That just, it's so infuriating. I don't know how attacks let it happen every time. Again, MDS has an AK. This time around, though, they're not going to be using it to try and do a lot of damage. Instead, they're just going to hang back and try and keep that, I think. But still, it's ridiculous how that happens. But there we go, 14-14. Nemiga tried so hard to close this one out, but they are struggling as this game comes down to this. Round 29. That AK actually, I'd say it's a fair big help for MDS. Allows us to get all the little trimmings, the molly, extra flash, the kit as well. You're seeing that double peek early towards ramp, but not going to bear any reward. Fast is going to be peeking through short though, that smoke. Just going to have a bit of freedom towards mid. What's interesting is that after the double peek ramp, they just led Robo there just to kind of stand his ground and just take that peek anyway. There's little to no information that it's going to be a B play, but off the back of them seeing nothing towards A, I definitely think they can have a bit of a hunch that that is the case. You can see that as well just from looking at the map, looking at the way that Redman is just kind of jumping around, trying to see if he can spot it. Gets absolutely nothing, but the minute those smokes and flashes start raining over, they know what's coming. That molly making life hard, but they're going to go diving on through anyway. What a shot through the smoke. Stefan, you absolute hero. As Fast then just relocates the van. They think it's clear, but it certainly isn't. That's damage to be done. As then he whips out his USP, does even more before Searson finally trades, but he's too late to the party. MDS can finish him off, and Nemiga, they will secure their map point 15-14. For aTTaX, it's overtime or bust. The B site looking like it is once again going to be the play. Just the same flashes, the same smokes lining up. And there he comes out. So much damage. 42 HP is all that he's got left as they come falling on out to the site. Hunden finding the first kill. Redman trying to hold things out. Walks into 3 players. But it will not be enough. The bomb is going to be planted. And from there, it has to be a retake for Nemiga to try and push this one over the line. Keto playing so close to market means that escaping is almost impossible. MDS so late to the party as well. He's going to be coming in on this huge rotate through B-Apps. And, I mean, you've got Searson just holding for that as well. Making it harder and harder. Hit mouse going to be good for one, but it's a simple trade. Effective. Delaying this push. Hunden now just falling back, hearing all the steps of MDS. This round is done. 15-15. We are going to overtime. I like calling him Redman though, Unknown CS. It's a nice little nickname. I get your point though. You are right. It's a force of habit, unfortunately, to go by server more than it is anything else. You always feel like if they're gonna call themselves that in the server, then maybe that's just what they want to be called, you know. In the words of Tom, at least. Either way. Let's not detract too much away from what we're actually watching. It was 15-15, a lot on the line right now. Playing things out in Group A, of course. Keto already starting to push this one further forward as he will find the frag on Robo. Hunden taking down fast as well as this push towards short works out so well. Just a blissful second headshot on Roman. Means the B site is completely open. Or Nemiga. This shouldn't be a retake. I mean, it's a 2v5, so I imagine they are just going to look for some exit picks or something. But even that's going to be a hard sell when you've got Keto there to catch off Hitmouse. What is that? That is a triple push flash play to try and take Palace is incredible from aTTaX. You love to see that. MDS just being hunted on down. Just let rip with the trigger, buddy. Survive as long as you can. It'll always be the same result, but the damage you can do is the only variable. He gets himself 2 kills for his troubles, not complaining at all. What a weird round. Or a weird end to the round, at least. Never seen a quad flash peak play in Palace like that. Either way, 16-15, aTTaX starting to push out ahead. A welcome change. Well, let's see if they can keep it going again, like we talked about. Consistency is everything. Oh, that's a devastating push. It just doesn't get easier than that. Effen given a double supported. Most Effen, of course, as they just try and go for this underpass taken. It just doesn't work out. The timing of the play clashes right into a round where aTTaX are also stacking 2 players towards underpass, and that's nothing they could really do. There was no real read about that. They thought they could maybe go for an underpass play in this round, and yeah, unfortunately they were just caught out. No real way for them to fight back from that as well. At a 2-man disadvantage that early on into the rounds, your whole kind of setup is thrown into disarray. That meant you lost your player towards B, you lose a few more jewels across the map, and out of nowhere you're suddenly left in a 1v4. For Robo, it's a simple result. Just gets caught by Keto as then he tries to take a 1v1 and it just falls away from them. At 17-15, things are getting a little concerning. Nemiga can afford very little Going to this final round of our first half of overtime. Hunden already picking off one as he does rear his head towards ramp. Searson is just going to be holding from the tip of short, just waiting to see if Fast is going to commit to the push, which he does, but not well enough around the corner for that AWP to really actually be able to take him down. But it doesn't quite matter. Hunden is just causing a ruckus on A anyway. Nemiga sneaking in the frag with the deagle, though, means that we're actually in a bit of an interesting situation here. Looks like they are going to go towards B, but that's why this is so interesting to watch, right? You've got Fast on one side of things, Roman on the other. They walk into his crosshair, and he does get the first kill, then the Mag 7 is going to pump down from above to push this one over the line. Nemiga, he gets 16, which is not abysmal, but it's not ideal at all. Worth remembering, though, Nemiga, they did a lot on their T side, I believe, so I have the memory of a goldfish, but I think I got that right, which means that, yeah, they're not out for the count just yet. One round, only the difference as well at the end of the day, which is not too big. Alright, so we're seeing a pretty box standard mid take right now, just smoke in window, gonna force off Searson, gives him no real ability to peek that. MBS seems to know that Kito's gonna push him, which was a nice little brief from him, just hearing the sound cue on the flash as well. Means that it's a less than ideal start for the CT side. And he's still holding as well, just cautious that he's gonna see a refrag attempt or something come in. He's being very patient. What he doesn't know is that the actual attempt is in the form of ramp. Ekman just going to be pushing it up, and it means that if any sort of rotation does come in, that's going to be caught. But even more importantly, that bomb. A lot of question marks on how this really is going to work. There's a matter of timing here, and it looks like that worked out so well. It was a second. 1 second is literally the difference between success or failure there on that ramp push. At least MDS can hold for it and can communicate to his team at this point that someone is lurking in ramp, and then annihilate him. Simply put, Roman just going to tap him out the server, but still, I don't think you're complaining just yet. MDS trading back the loss that the AWP did cause. It's looking like a simple one for Nemiga, as they do take it 17-17. Few flashes, smokes and stuff coming in towards mid. Pretty standard stuff, but no real battles being taken. The utility alone puts a bit of a wall between these two sides. They will begin to wage war, though, in the form of Hunden, who just tries to peek in the gap of that mid-cross smoke. Of course, you always have two choices with that mid-cross smoke. You either leave a gap on the left side, allowing Connector to peek in, or you leave a gap on the right-hand side, allowing that short play to peek up if they want to. Obviously, no matter what, that smoke excels at covering your cross if from that AWP in mid-window, but that's Connector or short where things can get a little bit dicey, depending on the choice your team make. Because it's very common just to leave the gap towards short. Covering Connector is such a stronger angle to cover, I think. And also a much more common angle for an AWPer to be peeking from when not peeking window. Flashplate coming on out. A-Site is being, I was going to say overwhelmed, but then Auto Director decides to just completely throw us off. Looks like Roman is actually doing a fair bit again. Not again, Auto Director, leave us alone. We'll do it ourselves, fine. You're fired. Mouse just going to be looking towards jungle. We have lost all sense of rhythm, but it doesn't quite matter. It's a 4v1. Nemiga looking for their 18th. And it looks like they're going to find it. There you go. That jump around from Auto Director meant absolutely nothing. It definitely doesn't tell you the result of this game. I hate it when it does that. That's so annoying. Hey, just pistols. A lot of utility here for aTTaX. Hit mouse. Where are you off to, buddy? Going for a little walk. If you just decided that... Well, that's a camera angle. Okay. I think he might have timed out a little bit. I'm guessing that's the case at least. Yeah. Oh, the entirety of the Nemiga have just apparently timed out. Yeah, the entirety of this T-side have just timed out completely. That is a little bit of an issue. Go on, Hunden. There you go. Misses the first flick, but he'll find the second. Stop is going to be called. I like our citizens like, good half, man. Good half. It's been good. I imagine that will get replayed. McBeef, buddy, I see you. I see you. It's not WOT. I'm going to assume that that's not the case. And that they are going to replay the round. Because that would be a bit nuts otherwise. Let's have a look at what chat's saying. EU Counter-Strike, Resident Sleeper. Fair play, fair play. You guys are just generally not really saying anything at all. You're just spamming a lot. There's no real kind of conversation to this. There's a bit of love for Brazil and Portugal. I see that. That's good. That's good. Mostly people flaming, though. I imagine their replay. I mean, a mass timeout like that is nothing they can really do about it. I don't really know what's going to happen here with the whole ready up situation. Or what this will put us into. It's kind of made it 18-18, which is just a bit of a lie. I mean, we do know that was the case. But you got to reload it, my friend. Yeah, Hunden has places to be. When is their MDL match, actually? Let's have a look. HLTV. Because it's 20 past, right? So I'm assuming their MDL match is in like 40 minutes. But it's actually not. Their MDL match is in 5 minutes. You gotta go fast, boys. Yeah, that's a bit of an issue for aTTaX, actually. They, yeah, they have a game in like 5 minutes against Envious Academy. For those of you, by the way, who are here for Sprout versus Kingwin, we will get there. It's just kind of waiting for this to finish. So aTTaX have places to be. We've got places to be. I wonder if Nemiga have any game. Let's have a look. HLTV. What one Nemiga up to today? I don't think they're on our schedule for anything today, are they? I say that with total confidence if I know what we're doing. Nemiga? No, then... Oh, no, they actually might be. No, the double header today is Vanguard. There we go. Nice little reload. That's what we wanted to see. This will be the stream for the Sprout game, Zop. We're just a little late, and I don't think the guys over on the game bets, I've completely forgot the name of it. Bets.net, there we go. Look at game bets for a second there. The admin, I don't think they could hold the match because I think there are other games in the schedule, obviously, for Kinguin and Sprout today. So we're just unfortunately a little late to the party. Either way, looks like Nemiga going to try and close this one out. Hitmouse already with the first kill on Searson. Robo then going to come in through connector, just looking to collapse out on towards his ace. So you've got Keto up close and personal, which is certainly going to work out well for them. Finds not only one, but double dips for a second. Excellent. Taking down Roman as well is ever so pretty. Keto with the headshot on Robo. We might be going to double OT. aTTaX, you might not have the time for this, but screw it. You got to make it work anyway, because a win is a win, and that's what you need. Hitmouse, all that remains now for this T side. The AWP towards ramp, the flash comes through. They're going to hunt him down. 18-18. Double OT. Looks like the quick ready up comes in. Doesn't look like it's actually done anything though. At this point, Hunden's just begging the admin to get it going. Looks like Ebot has decided that today is the day that it no longer wants to function correctly anymore. Oh no, this is an issue. What is... Okay. So, I mean, there's double OT happening somewhere. The question is, where is it happening? I'm not quite sure. Twitch chat, we're on the same page, so don't go yelling at me, asking me what's going on, because I have no idea. We're just gonna pray. Let me look at Skype real quick, see if the admin has said anything to me. He's not, so I guess we're just gonna wait and see. I don't know what this will load into. Well, a black screen. Okay. At least it's on Mirage and not actually on Dust 2, right? Someone out there is definitely screaming admin or something like that, but I'd say what we're going to do. We'll throw on some music. I'll leave the game on so you guys can see what's happening, and then I'll go see if I can get a hold of someone who can tell me what's happening. But you guys don't then have to listen to me just be like, hey, I'm confused, I don't know what's happening. Instead, you can listen to some music, so at least there's a positive in it somewhere, right? And we're back with more aTTaX versus Nemiga. The scoreline might well be 0-0, but in fact is 18-18. And they're going to try and see if they can shut this one out relatively quickly. aTTaX, of course, on the sprint against time at this point. Of course, playing 2 players towards B, and they've got 3 players set up towards the A site. Just looking to see what they can do. Already, an early kill is going to be claimed fast. Picking off 100. 55 seconds remain. Nemiga looking to build out on towards this A site now. The issue for them is going to be these 2 players playing close under Shadow. That's a painful stack that could quite easily just rip through this T site if they leave it unchecked. However, if one good flash, they're both blind. Now you got yourself an issue. Seriously, meanwhile taking down Roman on towards B is going to cement this A play. The Molly making things a little problematic, but the follow-up smoke, less than ideal. You take down one, but will they know the second's going to be there? That's the question we're waiting to have answered. I mean, it's a good little flash, but Hitmouse is going to be planting in perfect eyesight. For Stefan, who is going to secure the kill, but flails around for the second, and that's where it kind of begins to fall apart. Thankfully, the big flank comes in from behind. Citizen just going to be there creeping with the AWP. Spots out fast, leaving just Hitmouse. 11 HP is all that he has. A USP there to hunt for him as the bomb is ticking. Smoke to be thrown onto it. Hitmouse creating the 1-on-1, spotting out Eckford. Seeing he gets nice and aggressive, hops straight on the bomb, and will be a 1v1 that he wins out in a round. Then he ultimately takes 19-18, the current scoreline for aTTaX. Hundon. That is a nasty flash. Didn't know if it was actually going to come through. I was waiting to see kind of what the setup would be, but that is a beautiful pop flash from his teammate there. Citizen as well, catching off fast for playing just towards the top of bricks. This is some great play coming out from aTTaX in these initial rounds. Waiting to see if they can continue to close it out, though. That's really going to be the question mark on this game. Of course, it is going to be the smokes coming out from ramp if they want to. You've got Robo looking like he was at least lining up for one, but doesn't commit to throwing it just yet. Of course, a minute on the clock, so no be real rush for their lineup. They're still definitely starting to telegraph what Nemiga are going to be doing in this 19th round. It is not the 19th round at all. What would it be? 24th round, I guess? Maybe? I don't know. Quick math. Not really our strong suit. We'll leave that to Big Shaq. Instead, we'll talk about Hundon. So he's going to find Robo. More to be done, but the bomb plant not going to be denied, which is the particular point in here that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Citizen is going to do some pretty good work with his AWP, though, which should solidify the round as Stefan finishes things off by picking off MDS in Palace. At this point, coming up to what, 2018? I don't even know what the scoreline is anymore. Already lost track of it. It doesn't quite matter. What we do know is that this should be a clean sweep 3-0. Surson is doing so much in mid right now. That's a double kill with the AWP as he just shuts them down with unthinkable flicks. Robo going to be smoked off, flashed off. Leaving it all on towards Roman to instigate any sort of pressure on this A site. Now you've got 2 players coming out through ramp, and those flashes do certainly begin to fade, so it gives them a bit of a welcome chance. Robo will have himself the smoke fading soon, so he can begin to peek out as well. So at least they're playing together. They are just going to walk on up, going straight for the plant. And they're looking to see what they can do. Roman just going to swing on CT, and he's good for 2. Looking for a 3rd. Roman, please. A triple kill as he flicks from head to head. Hitmouse looking for the 4th and final. Stefan is going to lose his life. Nemiga taking it 2-1. Denying that clean sweep from aTTaX. 21-19, I think the scoreline is. I don't think that's totally correct on the banner, though I might be wrong. There we go, though, just jerry-rigging this OT together. Money's been set correctly, the buys come through. I don't know, you guys are asking me what the scoreline is. I don't think anyone knows what the scoreline is at this point. I'm going to trust the banner at the top, though. I think that's right, yeah. Yeah, they need 1, so that is... Oh, I don't know, man. Numbers are not my strong point, what can I say? MDS. This could be interesting. This is a matter of timing, though, and you wouldn't think that, but Flash is good, he can go through. Kito's completely blind, but he just whiffs away anyway. And it will mean the kill is found. Hitmouse taking down Citizen and Palace. And Roman may well be able to find Hunden as well, but not before he could find the headshot he needed. Natharius just catching him on the cross. That's a bomb dropped and the round delayed. Roman then just going to tap on away, and it's Nemiga to equalise. Couple of flashes, couple of nades. It is going to be the same A ramp pressure. Interesting thing to keep an eye on will be just how they get from underpass through connector, considering the way Hitmouse is playing this. Oh, looks like they're going to go aggressive. Kito waiting for it. Robo just presenting himself up on a silver platter. Looks like he might have been just the start of those main course. He's being prepared. Nemiga have to be so careful right now not to give up too much. Once again, it is going to be a quick duel, but that's for aTTaX. And with only 1 player remaining on the A side of the map, this is where aTTaX can actually start to take control around. 40 seconds on the clock. Of course, it is a matter of just going at this point. MDS going to stay ever so tucked into the corner, will not be peeking. He's just going to wait for them to peek into him, and they double peek it together. Smart play from aTTaX, and it has some huge rewards behind it as well. From there, they just take the fight towards CT. It's going to be fast. The only player remaining with that AWP. It looks like he'll get himself towards the top of mid, and just going to see if he can hold anyone on those exit picks from connector. 2021. Looks like we are going to see the same mid-smokes come through. aTTaX just going to be going for that early pressure, but Roman has got himself up on top of this fencing. That's not only one, but a chance at a second. Hunden hopping his way through. A frag grenade to land at his feet. Damage to be done as he can wait on just 50 HP is all that he's got now. Downside is they're so invested into mid. I mean, you got the bomb towards top of mid. You got 2 players underpass. But the flame's just going to set it ablaze. You know, your whole round is completely halted. There, a second molly comes out. This is so nice. Keto just walking blindly out ramp means that MDS can simply pick him off. Nemiga, they're looking comfortable here. Ekford causing a bit of a ruckus, but again, it is just a trade. Hunden on 3 HP, and he's the only thing left. It's going to go 21-21. We go straight back on the whole rodeo. All over again. Alternate attacks. Still trying to close this one out. Nemiga. I think even more so though. I mean, you just look at the way this game started for them in normal time. Just how far ahead they were. How much they were able to actually do. But that second half changed a lot of things. And it did open up the alternate attacks comeback, of course. A lot of utility being used towards connector, but none being used towards the real issue. That being Palace and a ramp. They just come running on out, rambling onto the site. But it's going to be Hunden. Just a drop on around through stairs. A quick roundhouse kick to the face of Robo. And the plant can come through, and there's no one there to stop it. The molly. It's going to be the only thing to greet fast, as he is just going to be pushed on back. Bomb ticket. I don't think there's much chance here. I mean, Hunden already on the backstab. Basically the driving force behind this round, and not only will he open it up, but he'll close it out as well. I mean, fast. The player kind of watching to see if he can escape from the fray, but not even sure that's going to come through, as he is just being chased. Keto nearly taking the duel, but I think he's cautious now that he knows it's going to be an AWP holding him, of course. 22-21 now in favour of aTTaX. Already with the initial kill, Hunden doing a little bit more as he will secure the header fast, so a blisteringly quick way for alternate attacks to start this one off. 3 players, of course, dedicated towards mid. You have got Robo just playing in connector. Will find himself under pressure soon enough. Oh, just walking blindly past. That makes his position not only known, but then predictable. Stefan just abusing that to find himself just another pick. You got some nice aggression here from Roman, but Ekfin just responds back by just taking him down. Meaning it's Jules lost across the whole map, and a real awkward precedent set by Nemiga, just the fact they can't win a single duel in the round. 23-21 may well be on the table. aTTaX make it happen. pistols, scraps, SMGs at least. The fact they have the spotlight in the round is more concerning than anything else. MDS at least sneaking in one, Roman clawing back the round, making use of his deagle. Let's go 2 for 2 in mid. MDS has to be so careful though, please. I almost beg, don't be predictable, don't push. Because Keto's waiting for that, and he's been doing that so often. Alice really has been his playground. That Eagle does rally off shots from stairs. Keto gonna put him in the grave as Hunden does take down MDS. The molly is just completely blocking off jungle as well. There's no way you step into those flames. They are just gonna hurt you so much. Bar's just thinking, how on earth could he possibly try and make this happen? Looks like he is going to go up towards stairs, and from there just try and spot out the site, see if he gets any information at all, can maybe find a player or two. There you go, 24-21, just a 1 round needed now for alternate attacks in this second half. Here we go. Potentially the final round if aTTaX can make it work. Keeping a cautious eye on their CT side. Nemiga, this is where they found their success, bear in mind. It's going to be a pretty bare bones mid take from them. A bit of an emphasis towards the top of mid, but the bulk of the force comes from Robo and Underpass. A lot of patience now being put into play. Nemiga not willing to really rush this one. Taking it very carefully. But I think they're very uncertain on where they want to go. I mean, well, sure, we can see that it's going to be a B split, but they've not really found anything that's going to kind of show them that that's going to work out for them. You know, what I'm basically saying is they've not got themselves the pick yet. And they're getting utility that constantly pushes them back. I mean, these mollies are just making life so difficult for them. The flash is leaving them completely blind. Hitmouse is able to squeeze in one, but not long before the second trade comes through. And the big issue is going to be just getting past this and this absolute Gatling gun of an AWP. Walking into his crosshair, they simply just take him down. MDS, 12 HP, is all that stops Nemiga from being eliminated in this matchup. And Keto is just going to push it over the line. GG's to be exchanged. The aTTaX make it work, and they're going to go rushing off to their MDL game, I am sure. For Nemiga, I think that's a pretty unfortunate loss. I mean, they put a lot of work in to get it to OT. That, you know, 3 overtimes at the end of the day is a huge game in itself, but unfortunately, they were unable to close it out. You know, they beat Good Job, I believe, earlier in the week by just taking it to 1 OT, but you know, they just couldn't run the distance here. It was unfortunate. I mean, aTTaX did a pretty good job in normal time of bringing it back in the second half, considering Nemiga had a very strong start into this matchup, but a best of one does what a best of one does. Can sometimes be exciting, can sometimes be interesting, but ultimately it is just that one chance. Nonetheless, that is us done for this map. We'll be back with you with some more stuff in just a few moments' time. I'm not really sure what we're going to do because I don't know if Kingwin and Sprout is live anymore. Of course, this game was live for quite a while, so we've missed Kingwin and Sprout, I believe. But I need to go check the score on that and figure things out. So I'll let you guys know. Just bear with me, and we'll figure it out. In the meantime, go check out HellCase.